Hello everyone, today we're gonna check out yet another Intel Z590 motherboard. It's the ASUS ROG Maximus 13 Hero and it's one stunning looking motherboard. I mean, even the box looks amazing already. As I'm quite impatient and really want to take a closer look at this motherboard, let's not waste any more time. I'm Winston Chan from Podder.net and let's go! So, as we mentioned earlier, the box looks absolutely fantastic. The front of the box has been revised to better reflect ASUS's new design direction, which involves a lot of diagonal lines as evident in their recent laptops and even the ROG Phone 5. ASUS still made sure to keep the front clean with minimal text aside from the large ROG logo and the Maximus 13 Hero label. Flipping it around, we see more details about the motherboard. There's a clear image of the motherboard and its included Wi-Fi antenna as well as some highlighted features. But we don't have time to read them now, so let's just flip it back over again and open it to check out the motherboard itself. Anti-static bags are no longer a thing for ROG motherboards for quite some time already, and we have a hard plastic cover over the motherboard itself, letting you feast your eyes on it without having to peer through the black lines on your average ESD bag. Let's go deeper into the box now as we will pay more attention to the motherboard in just a little bit. So you can see that the ROG Maximus 13 Hero still comes with a driver CD despite some manufacturers already going with USB drives even with their lower-end boards. There's also a card welcoming you into the Republic of Gamers, which is kinda cool, especially if this is your first ROG board. Then you have the user guide which contains all the necessary information about the ROG Maximus 13 Hero and also some stickers to customize your build or your TopOS. It's entirely up to you and there's plenty of it here for you to stick around. In a compartment under the box, you will be seeing a bunch of cables. The first one is a redesigned Wi-Fi antenna. It finally has a magnetic base, so kudos to ASUS for listening to their fans. Then there's the RGB extension cable, 4 SATA cables, the Q connector to help you plug in your fiddly front panel headers, an ARGB adapter, and also a few M.2 screws. The ROG Maximus 13 Hero also comes with the new ROG graphics card holder to avoid GPU sag. I personally think that this should have come with their ROG GPUs instead of their motherboards, but hey, I don't say no to free goodies. And last but not least, a nice little keychain for you to show off that you own a ROG motherboard. Finally, it's time to take a look at the motherboard itself. As a whole, you can see that ASUS has significantly redesigned the ROG Maximus 13 Hero. While previously only the ROG Maximus Formula or Code motherboards can enjoy this level of coverage with their heatsinks and plastic covers, the ROG Maximus 13 Hero is quite well covered with metal heatsinks and plastic bits. Most of it is functional too, with the heatsinks having deep grooves in them to help increase their surface area. The glossy bits that were easily scratched on the ROG Maximus 12 Hero have also been replaced by a less fragile looking material that now has a very nice 3D sheen to it when you shine light on it from different angles. It will definitely look great in a well set up RGB build. While the top layer is just as glossy, the underlying metallic finish should help hide a bit of the scratches. The metal bits, which comprises of the VRM and M.2 heatsinks as well as the I/O shroud, all feature the same matte black finish. Overall, it is one great looking motherboard that I do believe will complement any build you have in mind. Now let's move on to the VRMs on the ROG Maximus 13 Hero. As a premium enthusiast motherboard, it definitely has to deliver in this department. The ROG Maximus 13 Hero's predecessor had a similar 14+2 setup, but with 60 amp power stages, and it seems that the ROG Maximus 13 Hero doesn't try to change the formula too much. It too packs a 14+2 team power stage architecture, but now the CPU power stages are rated for 90 amps while the secondary power stages get 70 amp power stages, all cooled by the beefy VRM heatsinks. The ROG Maximus 13 Hero also packs two 8-pin EPS Pro Cool 2 power connectors versus the 8+4 configuration in the Maximus 12 Hero. As with their previous designs, ASUS is using an array of microfine alloy chokes that look great too. They've also used a lot of 10K Japanese black metallic capacitors which might get in the way of overly ambitious CPU coolers. Overall, the area around the socket looks absolutely amazing even with the heatsinks off. Or maybe especially so with the heatsinks off. The power stages for the CPU are none other than the 95410RRB from Texas Instruments, which can handle up to 90 amps each. Of course, you won't want to run 14 power stages at 90 amps as the amount of power through them will instantly kill anything you put in the socket. But going overkill with VRMs will result in a more efficient system, as the VRMs will run cooler during operation as they won't have to work as close to their limits as you might with lower rated power stages. The PWM controller has also been updated to a more recent ISL 69269 from Intersil, which has been featured in various other high-end boards from other brands. The controller is capable of controlling 12 phases, but as the ROG Maximus 13 Hero uses a team power architecture, it won't be fully utilized anyway. Now, as we were talking about the lower operating temperatures enabled by going with higher rated power stages, the ROG Maximus 13 Hero does have some impressive cooling for its VRM. While the Maximus 12 Hero went with a design that used the area below the socket to help cool the VRM, the ROG Maximus 13 Hero actually uses the vast expanse of the I/O shroud to help dissipate the heat from the VRMs. It's not exactly novel, but this is probably the first time ASUS is doing it in a mainstream ROG Maximus motherboard. A heat pipe connects the two VRM heatsinks in an L shape, and there's high conductivity thermal pads under it to improve the thermal transfer from the VRMs to the heatsink. Overall, this should suffice to cool the VRMs even if you don't have a lot of airflow over them. Next up, the memory support. According to official specifications, you're guaranteed of up to 2933 MHz on the 10th gen processors and 3200 MHz on 11th gen. But of course, the motherboard does support overclocking, and ASUS also promises support for XMP profiles up to 5000 MHz. To improve the signal integrity, ASUS baked in their Optimem 3 technology, which features a proprietary memory trace layout to allow for higher frequencies, lower latencies, and reduced voltage. In other words, better, faster, and more efficient memory. The ROG Maximus 13 Hero doesn't have the overly aggressive all-metal slots like some of the competition, but it does have a bit of reinforcement that's visible in the center of the slot. Now onto the expansion slots. The ROG Maximus 13 Hero is designed for SLI and Crossfire configurations, so you can plug two GPUs into the two reinforced PCIe X16 slots, which ASUS dubs safe slots. If the ROG Maximus 13 Hero is used with a 10th gen processor, you will get PCIe 3.0 speeds, while throwing an 11th gen processor into the socket will net you PCIe 4.0 speeds. More on that later. The Intel Z590 chipset also provides for additional PCIe X1 and PCIe 3.0 X16 slot, the latter which is only X4 electrically. The spacing between the slots is also quite optimal, so you should be able to use multi-GPU configurations quite easily. Not to say that there's any practical reason to, but you have the option to do it with the ROG Maximus 13 Hero. All the chunky heatsinks you see between the PCIe slots are the M.2 heatsinks, and the ROG Maximus 13 Hero supports a total of 4 M.2 drives. Depending on your configuration, you can actually end up with the main GPU running at X8, pretty similar to what we saw with the Z590 Aorus Pro AX. But the difference is that you can use up to 3 M.2 drives without affecting your main GPU's bandwidth here, while the Gigabyte board will only allow you to use 2 without taking lanes away from the CPU. If you plan to use more than one M.2 PCIe 4.0 SSD, I can only recommend you to look towards AMD X570 boards rather than the Intel Z590 boards, as there just isn't enough PCIe 4.0 lanes here. Since we're already talking about the M.2 drives, let's dive deeper into the storage supported by the ROG Maximus 13 Hero. There are two M.2 PCIe 4.0 X4 slots that are fed by the CPU, and another two M.2 PCIe 3.0 X4 slots that are controlled by the Intel Z590 chipset. The layout is pretty logical, with the two slots closest to the CPU being fed by the CPU, and the two that are lower down on the board being fed by the chipset. Each M.2 slot does not only feature a heatsink on the top, but also sports a heat spreader to cool the underside of the drives as well. Everything comes with pre-applied thermal pads, so you don't have to worry about cutting your own thermal pads and sticking them to your drive. As you would expect from an Intel motherboard, there's support for Intel Optane memory with the M.2 slots. Now, if you want to go with more conventional storage options, there are also 6 SATA ports. However, 2 will be disabled if you decide to put the M.2 SSD in the last slot, which ironically is also the only slot to support the M.2 SATA interface. The ROG Maximus 13 Hero also comes with improved audio capabilities with the new ROG Supreme FX Audio featuring the latest Realtek ALC 4082 codec. It supports 32-bit 384kHz audio and 7.1 channel HD audio for some really high fidelity, immersive sound. There's also the ESS Sabre 9018Q2C integrated DAC amp to power your premium headphones. Last but not least, it comes with premium Nichicon capacitors. All of the sweet sound will be output through the rear gold-plated audio jacks, where you also find the optical audio out. Since we're already on this side of the motherboard, let's talk about the rear I/O. You get plenty of high-speed USB 3.1 Gen 2 ports that can provide for up to 10 gigabits per second of bandwidth. There are also two 2.5 gigabit per second ports powered by the Intel i225V controllers along with a pair of Thunderbolt 4 ports. I still think that 2 LAN ports is unnecessary, but I guess some people will find it handy. The dual Thunderbolt 4 ports are also going to be great for future-proofing for future when we will have more affordable Thunderbolt devices. Further up, there's the antenna connectors for the Wi-Fi 6E AX210 that provides Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2 connectivity. Then you have the HDMI 2.0 port, two USB 2.0 ports for your peripherals, along with the BIOS flashback and clear CMOS buttons. Obviously, with this being an enthusiast board, the two buttons are somewhat expected. We won't go over the full list of headers on this board, but I just want to mention that there's also a USB-C front panel header. As we were talking about overclocking features earlier, there's also a Q code readout for troubleshooting with some coloured LEDs under it to help you quickly identify what went wrong during the post process. There's also the onboard power and reset buttons. The reset button doesn't only reset, but that's the default functionality. It is actually a flex key that can be reconfigured to enter the BIOS directly, among other things. The ROG Maximus 13 Hero is well designed to not only look good in your build, but will also be just as comfortable on a bench rig. In conclusion, I can say that the ASUS ROG Maximus 13 Hero is one heck of a board. There's not many other ways to put it, and it is nice to see ASUS finally change up quite a few things this generation, instead of just doing iterative updates with each passing series. For RM2659, it is quite a pricey board, but you do get improved audio, improved connectivity with Wi-Fi 6E and dual Thunderbolt 4 ports. You also get a pretty flexible PCIe layout that can take advantage for more fast storage or multi-GPU setups. Whether any of that is practical depends on your needs. And that's it for a not so brief overview of the ROG Maximus 13 Hero. What do you think of this board? Would you get it? Or do you think that some of the last gen ROG Maximus 12 boards are a better option? Do let us know in the comments section. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, let us know why. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more content like this. I'm Vincent Chan from Pokedar.net and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!